Welcome back. It's week 14 of looking over my shoulder with How Profit First. Well, we're just going to dive right in. So these are my current allocation percentages by account, and then my bank balances before I did any allocations this morning. Um, and then we're going to dive right in. So graphs, you can see as I enter my information, you'll be see how the graphs, the history, because the numbers here are just showing you what's happened this week with allocation, but and activity in my account. But the graphs show you from beginning with 14 weeks ago what's happened in each account. Okay. So we're going to start off with my deposits. So last week I had a really amazing week last week. And so $7,598.26. So you'll see a spreadsheet. I have formulas in this allocation column that go ahead and allocate that money by bank account. In the real world, I use Rely as my business bank, and I have a rule set up through them that they automatically go into my deposit, my income account. They hold $50 in that account, and then the entire balance above $50 gets allocated based on percentages, and they're the percentages. Okay, so this what's in this spreadsheet matches what happened in my bank account. Relay automatically has a rule based on percentage, how much money gets allocated to each of my accounts every Monday morning, just automatic. So, and why I keep 50 in there is because I have trans that are processed. All of my clients that I work with are on auto pay. And so some auto payments are ACH into from their checking accounts, and some are credit or debit card. And although I use three different providers to get money processed through those automatic transactions, Stripe, when it processes those transactions, they take some of their fees, and this actually irritates me, and I've had many conversations with support on this, and they don't really handle them, but I can't get them to catch up with 2023. So plain. I actually, it's probably the only thing that I do agree that is correct. So when in my preference in my world, I would prefer that if I have a transaction for $1,000 and I owe the credit card company $3, if you know whatever it is, take my money. Don't send me the 1,000 and then wait a couple of weeks until the end of the month to grab your $30 from my account. You already have the 1,000 from the transaction. You already know at that very point how much I owe you. Just keep it. Send me the net. That's just my preference. Other people may have different preference, and that's fine. I just know for me, that's my preference, you know. But whatever. Stripe does their thing, and so I keep some money in there so that when they come back to me at the end of the month, if there's still money that I owe them, the only time I don't owe Stripe at the end of the month is if I just happen to have a transaction that has processed within like 2 days from the last day of the month, and it has not yet settled into my bank account. So then they'll be able to take money out of that, what they're holding, and then send me the net. But that doesn't happen that often. So, anyways, I had an amazing week. It gets allocated out based on my current percentages. These are my current fourth quarter 2023 current allocation percentages. Okay, so the money gets allocated out. Great. Okay, so what else happened? Happened last week. After I did my last week, nothing changes in my. I did payroll last week, so nothing additional. I've already taken care of them last week. In my tax account, nothing. Although I have another payment, maybe like weeks. So, or 5 or 6 weeks. So nothing else has happened there. Now, OpEx. Okay, I paid my rent, and that's a check, $695. Okay, so I did that. And then the next thing, and I'll actually do this first. So I have my credit card statement to pay. It's my only other bill that I have to pay right now. That's the only other activity I have. However, I do something where my credit card statement, because I try to pay everything on my credit card statement so I can get the cash back. My mastermind now covers, so I've got my mastermind account is for my dues to participate in that mastermind, plus My mastermind meets several times in person every year. And so we just at the end of September. And so I had travel expenses, and that my mastermind account, the 7% is to cover my participation in the mastermind plus my travel expenses or any additional expenses linked to my mastermind. So here is something that I share with you. I actually went a little overboard. I stayed for an additional time. We went to New Jersey and we met in conjunction with ProfitCon because we're all Profit First professionals in my mastermind. And we actually met the day after ProfitCon. I went in before and stayed another couple days later so that I can see my besties that are also Profit. Now, in doing that, I ended up spending a little bit more than what I had in this account. So here's what we're going to do, because this is going to happen. There's going to be times, and hopefully not, but almost like 9.9 out of 10 times that I work with somebody in the beginning, this happens. Now, for mine, I know why, because I got a little carried away with my spending, and I better, but I got a little carried away with it. So here's the deal. My mastermind's $2,000 a month, and I had another $1,900 for travel expenses. So let's just add that up. So 2,000 plus it was 1926. So this is how much money is on my credit card statement that I need to be paying from my mastermind account. And you'll see how this number is bigger than what I have in there. So what does that tell me? I overspent, so bad. So lesson learned, I'll keep a better eye on it. But can't overdraw this account, right? Because it's cash, it's a checking account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to out the balance, take it all the way down to zero, and put it in to my OPEX account. So I have at least replenished what I could of this amount. And so I still owe $1480.06 to my OPEX account. I'm going to keep this off to the side, and I know that I have this money sitting in my OPEX account. And this is kind of why I do this meaning I pay everything out of my OPEX account, and then I reimburse my OPEX account from my related account. So right now I owe, and I'm going to highlight it. So next week when we come do this, I remember that I need to check at this and make sure that I'm replenishing my OPEX account. Because if I don't replenish it, my OPEX account, I'm going to be screwing myself in my OPEX account down the road. Okay. So in addition to my $695, my rent check, I also paid out my credit card, which was a little, so 9785 point. Okay, so does this make sense? So now down here, how the accounts are going, right? So we've got consistency in the profit account, consistent, like expected consistency with owner's comp, tax, and my mastermind. It's the OPEX where it goes up and down, up and down. And now I've taken this balance down to 575, which is fine because I've got money coming in next week. And this is part of why I do allocations every week. So tell me what you think. Let me know what questions you have. And I will see you back here next Monday for week number 15.